Archangel Michael has detected something deeply unsettling happening around you right now. Certain people in your life know your biggest problem even though you've never told them about it. They seem to understand your struggles with an accuracy that's almost frightening. Have you noticed how they bring up exactly what's bothering you in casual conversation? How they offer suggestions that show they know more about your situation than they should? How they seem to appear right when you're feeling most vulnerable about this issue? These aren't coincidences. Archangel Michael wants you to know that these people have been watching you with unusual interest. They've been studying your reactions, your patterns, your moments of weakness. Those strange looks you catch them giving you, the way they seem to know your schedule, how they always have the perfect comment about your exact worry. There's something much deeper happening here. The blue light flashes you've been seeing, and those sudden protective thoughts that come from nowhere, are Archangel Michael's urgent warnings. He's been trying to alert you that your personal struggles have become someone else's obsession. The divine timing that brought you this message today is critical, because the situation is about to escalate. What you're about to discover will shock you, but it will finally make everything that's been confusing you completely clear. Archangel Michael has revealed something that will change how you see certain people forever. These individuals aren't just aware of your problem. They are what he calls problem collectors. They don't simply know about your struggles. They feed off them. They've been studying your situation like scientists, mapping every detail of your pain and vulnerability. These people appear to be concerned friends, helpful family members, or caring colleagues. They show up with worried faces and offer support, but behind closed doors, they discuss your situation with others, sharing private details about your struggles that you never told anyone. They've been gathering information about your weaknesses, your triggers, and your most vulnerable moments. Archangel Michael sees their true nature. Your problem has become their source of entertainment and power. They know exactly which words to say to make you doubt yourself. They understand precisely how to make your situation feel more hopeless. When you start feeling better about your problem, they somehow always manage to pull you back down. The timing of this revelation is critical because they're planning to use their knowledge of your problem in a new way soon. They've grown bolder in their manipulation because they believe you don't suspect anything. But Archangel Michael has been watching them watch you, and he knows their next moves before they do. What they don't realize is that their obsession with your problem has made them visible to divine forces that protect those under spiritual attack. Now you need to recognize the clear signs that these people have been collecting information about your problem. Think about how they bring up your exact worries in seemingly random conversations. They mention topics that touch on your specific struggles as if they're just making casual chat. But notice how their eyes watch your reaction carefully when they do this. Pay attention to how they offer solutions that somehow make your situation more complicated rather than better. Their advice sounds helpful on the surface, but following it often leads you deeper into confusion or creates new problems. This isn't accidental. They need your problem to stay alive and growing. Have you noticed their uncanny ability to appear during your most vulnerable moments? When you're having a particularly difficult day with your problem, they somehow show up or call at exactly that time. They seem to have radar for when you're struggling the most. Watch how conversations with them leave you feeling more confused about your problem than before you talked. You might start the conversation feeling somewhat clear about your situation, but after talking with them, you feel lost and overwhelmed again. This mental fog isn't natural. It's the result of their psychic interference. They reference things you've only thought about, never said aloud. They make comments that show they somehow know your private thoughts and fears about your situation. They ask probing questions disguised as innocent concern, always digging for more emotional details. Your pets or children may react strangely to these people becoming nervous or withdrawn in their presence. Animals and young children naturally sense when someone has unhealthy intentions toward their family members. Archangel Michael now reveals the disturbing truth about why these people are so invested in your problem. They are spiritual vampires who feed off the specific type of emotional energy that your struggle generates. Your worry, your frustration, your feelings of helplessness, these emotions create a powerful energy that they desperately need to feel alive and in control. They've become addicted to the power they feel when they can predict and influence your emotional state. By keeping your problem active and unresolved, they maintain a constant source of the energy they crave. Every time you share your struggles with them, every moment they can trigger your anxiety about the situation. They're feeding off your emotional output. The bigger and more overwhelming your problem becomes, the more powerful and energized they feel. This is why they sabotage every real solution that comes your way. They can't afford for you to actually solve your problem because that would cut off their primary energy source. Some of these people do this consciously, fully aware that they're manipulating your emotions for their own benefit. Others are driven by unconscious compulsions they don't understand, but the effect is the same. They've become parasites who need you to stay broken and struggling. What makes this particularly dangerous is how good they've become at disguising their energy harvesting as caring and concern. They've learned to position themselves as your closest confidants about this problem, making you feel like they're the only ones who truly understand what you're going through. But Archangel Michael sees through their deception. He knows that as long as these spiritual vampires have access to your energy, your problem will never truly be solved. They have too much invested in keeping you exactly where you are. Archangel Michael is offering immediate spiritual protection to break their psychic connection to your energy. Begin each morning by saying this specific prayer. Archangel Michael, I call upon your sword of light to cut all psychic cords connecting me to spiritual vampires. Surround me with your blue shield of protection so that my energy remains my own. Guard my thoughts, my emotions, and my personal struggles from those who would feed off my pain. The mirror shield visualization is particularly powerful against these energy vampires. Imagine yourself surrounded by mirrors facing outward in all directions. Any negative energy or psychic intrusion they send toward you immediately bounces back to them multiplied. This not only protects you but makes them uncomfortable enough to stay away. Practice blue light meditation daily to create impenetrable energy barriers. Close your eyes and visualize breathing in bright blue protective light that fills your entire body and extends outward 3 feet in all directions. This divine light repels spiritual vampires while allowing genuine love and support to reach you freely. Use sound clearing to break their existing psychic connections to you. Clap your hands sharply 7 times while stating, all unauthorized psychic connections to my energy are now severed completely. Follow with the sound of a bell or singing bowl if possible. The vibration disrupts the energetic cords they've attached to your emotional centers. Perform a saltwater protection ritual weekly. Add sea salt to your bath water and soak, while visualizing all foreign influences washing away from your energy field. As you drain the water, declare, all psychic interference leaves my space now and cannot return. You're most vulnerable to their influence during emotional peaks, when you're very upset, very excited, or very tired. During these times, strengthen your visualization of Archangel Michael's protective presence and avoid contact with suspected energy vampires when possible. Carry a piece of black tourmaline or hematite to block psychic attacks, and wear something blue to anchor Archangel Michael's protective energy. You'll know your protection is working when you feel clearer thinking and more emotional stability. Now Archangel Michael reveals why your problem has seemed impossible to solve. While these spiritual vampires remain attached to your energy, They actively interfere with your ability to find real solutions. They cloud your thinking, drain your motivation, and create emotional chaos that prevents clear decision making. Once their psychic influence is removed through the protection methods, your natural problem-solving abilities will return surprisingly quickly. You'll find yourself thinking more clearly about your situation and seeing options that were somehow invisible before. This isn't coincidence. Their psychic interference was literally blocking your perception of solutions. Keep your healing journey completely private from these individuals. Don't share your progress, your new insights, or your improving circumstances with them. They will try to sabotage any real progress you make because your success threatens their energy supply. Start building a support system of people who genuinely want to see you succeed. These individuals will feel different when you talk to them about your struggles. You'll leave conversations feeling clearer and more hopeful, rather than confused and drained. Learn to recognize the difference between genuine help and manipulation. Real helpers want to empower you to solve your own problems. Manipulators want to keep you dependent on their advice and emotional support. Many aspects of what you thought was your problem were actually amplifications created by their psychic interference. Once free from their influence, you may discover that your actual problem is much smaller and more manageable than it appeared. Trust your intuition completely during this process. Your inner guidance will become crystal clear about which steps to take once their mental fog is lifted. Solutions will come through unexpected channels, sudden insights, chance encounters, or opportunities that appear at perfect timing. The key is maintaining your energetic freedom while taking practical action toward resolution. With their interference removed, problems that seemed impossible often have surprisingly simple solutions. Archangel Michael wants you to understand what happens to these spiritual vampires when you cut off their access to your energy. A powerful spiritual law activates automatically when someone has been feeding off another person's emotional pain. The law of energetic return. When you block their ability to harvest your emotional energy, they're suddenly forced to face their own unresolved problems. The very struggles they've been avoiding by focusing on yours come rushing back with intensity. They experience the emotional turmoil they've been deflecting onto you. You may notice sudden chaos entering their lives as this spiritual rebalancing occurs. Their own relationships become strained. Their personal problems escalate, and they lose the artificial sense of power they gained from manipulating your emotions. This isn't revenge, it's natural cosmic correction. Initially, they may become more aggressive in trying to reconnect with you. They might create drama to pull you back into emotional engagement, offer sudden help with your problem, or even manufacture emergencies to regain access to your energy. Stay strong in your boundaries during this phase. Watch for signs that their influence over others is beginning to fail as well. Other people in their circle may start questioning their motives or feeling uncomfortable around them. Your freedom often becomes a catalyst that helps others recognize similar manipulation in their own lives. The universe has a perfect system for redirecting karmic debt back to its source. Those who have been feeding off others' pain will now experience exactly what they've been causing. Your job is simply to stay detached from their consequences while maintaining your own protection and healing. Once these spiritual vampires' psychic grip is completely broken, you'll experience rapid changes that may surprise you with their speed and clarity. Problems that seemed impossible to solve will suddenly have obvious solutions appearing from multiple directions. Your natural problem-solving abilities, which were being suppressed by their interference, will return stronger than before. You'll feel a dramatic increase in your energy levels and mental clarity. The constant background drain you didn't even realize you were experiencing will be gone, leaving you feeling more alive and capable than you have in months or years. New people will enter your life who genuinely want to support your success. These individuals will feel completely different from the energy vampires. Conversations with them will leave you feeling empowered and optimistic, rather than confused and depleted. Synchronicities will begin appearing regularly, guiding you to exactly the resources, information, and opportunities you need. Your intuition about people's true intentions will become crystal clear, protecting you from future manipulation attempts. The specific mission that this challenging experience has prepared you for will begin revealing itself. Your ability to recognize and protect against spiritual vampires makes you valuable in helping others who are experiencing similar situations. Most importantly, you'll discover that the core problem these people convinced you was so overwhelming is actually manageable and solvable. With their psychic interference removed, you'll wonder why something so solvable seemed so impossible for so long. Your freedom becomes a beacon of hope for others trapped in similar spiritual manipulation. And Archangel Michael will guide you in using your experience to help break others free. Archangel Michael stands with his sword of light ready to sever the psychic cords these spiritual vampires have attached to your energy. But you must invite his intervention now. The timing of this message is critical because these people are becoming more desperate as global spiritual energy shifts make their manipulation tactics less effective on others. They're likely to escalate their attempts to access your emotional energy in the coming days. The protective window for establishing Archangel Michael's shield before they try more aggressive tactics is closing rapidly. Waiting even one day could allow them to infiltrate deeper into your psychic space. Begin the protection practices immediately, not tomorrow or when it's convenient. Your freedom from this spiritual manipulation is the highest priority in the divine realm right now. Show your appreciation for this divine intervention by giving super thanks up to $20. This energy exchange strengthens your connection to Archangel Michael's protective force and ensures continued guidance as you reclaim your power. Trust that this shocking revelation arrived at exactly the moment you needed it most. Your liberation and the solution to your problem have already begun.